welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me or the first time on my channel, my name is Stephanie. I am currently a CNA studying to become an RN, and if you have not subscribed, press the subscribe button. So this video, I kind of wanted to do more all the information that you need to know about being a CNA, or if you want to become a CNA, and kind of like what it consists of, like the study background, etc, etc, etc. So that's going to be the short video right now, so you guys can kind of understand, like, is this the path that I want to take, or should I take this before becoming an RN, or should I take this while I'm in school as an RN? So a little background about me. Like I said, I am currently a CNA and I am going into nursing school. And I have been a CNA for 7 months now, almost a year and 3 months. Woo woo. So really excited about that. It is the best decision that I have ever made, and I'm really excited that I did become a nursing assistant, because it honestly has taught me so much, and it's made me excel in my classes and in my study, because I feel like I'm more comfortable and I know a lot more. So a little background to become a CNA, it depends on the state. I live in California, in San Francisco, and they have a wonderful program at City College of San Francisco. They do have a CNA program, and it's a semester long, which is, I think, is about 5 to 6 months. And they do have programs that are not in the college. Like, I think Red Cross has a CNA program, and I think it's about the same thing, about 5 to 6 months as well. And it is a fast-paced program, so I had classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for 8 hours, and that included clinicals as well. So that's a little background about that. In order to get your CNA certificate, you do have to, after you finish the program, you do take an exam. One of them is a written test, which is about 100 and so questions. And the second part of the exam is a skills test, and then you get you're certified as a CNA, and you can start applying to jobs. So number one thing that I do want to discuss about, like, studying, and when you do take the exam, if this is the path that you want to take, is that please study the skills test, because it is absolutely so important. And this is the part where a lot of people do fail and may have to retake that portion of the exam. So good thing, if you pass the written test, you can you don't have to take that again. But for the skills, you do have to take again, and I think you're only allowed 3 tries until, like, you have to wait a certain amount. I think it's like you're allowed 3 tries, and if you fail 3 times, you have to, like, take the whole course again. So be very careful about that. And what a lot of people do fail from it is because they're really nervous, and they start looking at the instructor while they're doing the skills test. So the skills test consists of the skills that you learned as a CNA while you're in class. Basically, they give you scenarios, like a little card, and you have to play the scenario and perform that skill. And that's how you will get tested. So really important, study the skills test, know it. There's a great YouTube, which I will put in the descriptions. There's a great YouTube, like, skills that I think that I studied from, and it really helped me pass the skills test and become confident. And remember not to look at the instructor that's giving you the exam, because they're not the patient. The patient is the patient that's on the bed, which is the mannequin. So pretend that the mannequin's your best friend, your mom, whoever you want to think to that will make you comfortable, but talk to them and just ignore everyone that's, like, around you. So that's pretty much, like, the test, etc. And then after you pass, you get your lovely CNA certification. Woo! And to keep the certification, you only have to work 8 hours in a year, which is pretty ridiculous. But yeah, it's so little. Only 8 hours to keep your certification. And you do have to do continuing education, I think, after 2 years, if I'm correct. I think 24 hours is online and 24 hours is in class. And you can ask, like, whatever program that you went to for the continuing education. So sometimes they'll send you that information. But that's the background to become a CNA. So I currently work in the hospital, and I like I said, I absolutely love it. What I do kind of want to let people know is that, like, the misconception that they have about a CNAs or, nursing assistants is that it's a dirty job. Well, honestly, not every hospital, or not every, like, well, actually, every, I think, home health will at least have a CNA, but not every hospital will have a CNA. So if you decide to go further into your career and become a nurse, these are bedside manner that you're gonna need to know. You're gonna have to know regardless. So I wouldn't look as being a nursing assistant, oh, that's the dirty job. I don't want to be a CNA. I just want to go straight to becoming a nurse. Well, funny thing is that when I was doing clinicals, and I, as a CNA, and I had nursing students with me as well, they didn't know shit. Excuse my language, but they didn't know shit. They were so scared because they were taught book, that they weren't really taught bedside manner, and it was an accelerated program. So the things that I was comfortable with and I knew everything, which is basically emptying out a Foley, changing a bed, putting a bedpan, giving a bed bath, simple things like that, which are actually extremely important. They were scared to do, and kind of just didn't know how to do it because they wanted to learn everything about just medication and injection medication and all that stuff. And that, of course, is important when you decide to become a nurse, but everything else as a whole is important and will make you a better nurse. I believe so. And especially, I spoke to a lot of nurses that are my coworkers, and a lot of them were CNAs before they became nurses, and they said honestly it's made them a better nurse. And when you do become a nurse and you have to do your clinical rotations, you're more comfortable to speak to a patient and not scared to and you want to go into it right away. You want to try to put hands on as much as you can. And for actually, while you're doing clinicals as a CNA, don't be scared. Hands on all the way, because that's only going to help you excel and only going to make you better. A better nursing assistant, a better CNA. Gotta catch my breath. Whew. Back. So also to know that the things that you will learn in your program as a CNA is not necessarily what you're gonna apply to where you're gonna work. I work at a hospital, and I don't do as much as people in that work in a home health aid or work in a an assisted living facility. So it depends where you're gonna work and what your scope of practice is gonna be under that belt. For example, me working in the hospital, yes, I do bed baths, I do bedpans, I do transportation, not all the time, but transportation from the commode or bathroom back to bed. We have our own transportation CNAs in the hospital. So again, depends where you work, and knowing the scope of practice. So learn all the skills that you can while you are in the program, and study them as much as you can. But when you go start working, you're gonna realize that you're gonna apply what you learn, but you're gonna develop your own flow, and just know yourself and know your scope of practice. That's very important. Scope of practice. You will learn that when you're in the program. So my shift is 8 hours right now. So I work 5 days. I'm full time working in the hospital. I know, full time, 8 hours, and it's killing me because I'm also a full-time student. But it depends where you work. Again, my unit is 8 hours. Some other units are 12 hours. Some other places are 16 hours. So it really depends. But me currently, I'm 8 hours, 40 hours a week. That's my schedule. CNA, it's a great job, and I'm so thankful for having it and going in this direction. But it is a very laborious job. You will get tired. There are times that it's calm and it's cool, and there's other times that you want to blow your freaking mind. You're I want to go home, which is sometimes how I feel. Sometimes I wake up and I'm I don't want to go to work, but then I'm at work and I'm killing it. So what a lot of people like I said in the beginning, like people think that CNAs are just like the dirty job and that we're just like wiping ass and like taking baths. It's not just that, you know. You're doing so much more. You're working with the patient hands on. You're working with family members because family members will be there, and you're learning as you go. So yes, you do bed baths. Yes, you're gonna do transporting from commode, which is like, if you don't know it, you'll learn it. It's basically another version of a bathroom. The bathroom, you're helping like with mobility, you're helping with like brushing their teeth or something if they need to. There's patients that are independent and don't really need your help, and there's patients who are total care, which they can't do anything for themselves. So you are going to be doing, you are like the, I consider that nursing assistants or CNAs are the backbone of like the hospital and the nurses, because like without them a lot of the stuff like wouldn't get done, because nurses have to do like charting, and charting takes literally the majority like of their shift. So sometimes it's hard to like just give someone a bath or like do the simple stuff like that, or give someone water like right away. So, and like at the hospital that I work at, I perform EKGs, which is really cool. So it really depends like where you're going to work at. Some places you don't have to perform EKGs. Me, on my unit, I do. I'm able to perform EKGs, which is really exciting because you get to, that's another like factor that's helped me like succeed in my nursing program, is that I'm learning as I go working in the hospital. Now the number one thing is that not everyone is going to get, I'm 7 months now. So last year I just got my CNA certificate, and I told my CNA program teacher, director, that no, I'm gonna work in the hospital, and I put those good vibes out there. And a month, 2 months later, after I got my certificate, I got a job at the hospital. Not everyone is gonna get a job at the hospital. A lot of places want you to have like experience, like working at a home health aide, working at a nursing assisted living facility. They want you to have all that experience before you can work in the hospital, because it's like two different like areas. So, but if you put your mind to it, like I did, you may get a job in the hospital. So that's that. So to end off this video, I just honestly, number one, for the nurses out there, appreciate your CNA, hug them, love them. Like we do, like I don't ever expect like my nurses to say, you know, like, oh hey, thanks, or like give me a pat on the back, but it is nice once in a while to be like, oh hey, thanks, like, you know, like you really helped me out or something. So just like CNAs and nurses should work together as a team, make the unit so much better. When everyone cooperates with each other, it's going to work so much smoother. But you know, that's just my opinion. And for, again, the nursing students that are out there, I highly recommend that you take a CNA course, CNA program, become a CNA, because it will change your life and you will succeed in your clinicals. Just to let you know. But that's all that I have my information for, you know, CNA. So if you want to know more information, or there's something that I missed, comment below. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. I may do like, my next video may be like a day in the life of CNA, and get little snippets of like kind of how I like start my day, like what I do, etc. I probably can't film while I'm in the hospital, so I'll probably film outside, and like if I do inside, you know, for HIPAA privacy, etc., I won't film like any patients' names, etc. So I may not film inside the hospital, but I'll give you basically an idea of like a day in the life in CNA. If you guys have any more videos that you would like me to do, or any requests, comment below or DM me on my Instagram. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and remember to hit the subscribe button.